Hey, it's Jess. Welcome back. Today I'm here with my April TBR, which are all the books that I hope to read in April of 2025. First book is for the Buzzwordathon, which is a year-long reading challenge hosted by Books and Lala here on YouTube. Kayla has two different options this year. She has a monthly theme where you try to fit titles that fit into that theme, or she has a cover challenge. And I'm not sure. I've mostly just been doing the theme, the title. I don't know if, you know what, one of my books, actually I think this book, rambling, I think this book might fit both challenges. This is the first time that the one I'm reading ends up fitting both challenges. So the theme for April is animal words. And then the book cover is animals. So I will be reading The Curious Incident. Oh my gosh, I can never remember the name of this book. The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon, which has dog in the title. And then if you can see, there's a little doggy right there. This is a book off of my physical TBR. Always love when I can choose that. I got it at the library sale last year. In this neighborhood, a dog has been, and this autistic boy is investigating why this dog unalived. But it's written, I believe our main character, like the narrator main character, is the autistic child. So it's written from an autistic point of view. Heard really good things about it, just haven't ever gotten around to reading it. And now I'm glad because I can get it off my physical TBR, but also because I've wanted to read this book for so long. For my nonfiction book club in the month of April, we will be reading Combating Cult Mind Control. Mind Control. Oh my gosh, this is also hard for me to say. By Steve Hassan? I'm not quite sure. This is a nonfiction book, and it is stories from people who have been in cults. It is kind of about the propaganda and uses, like things that cults use to suck you in. And there's definitely a cult in America right now that unfortunately a lot of people are part of. And so our book club is trying to figure out how to combat that and maybe help some of our friends and loved ones escape that cult. So, yeah, I'm really interested in reading about that. I am so interested in the language of cults and cults in general, and how do these like seemingly normal people get involved in these things. And so I'm really excited about that one. I think it's gonna be really interesting. I do have two books that were on my March TBR that I did not end up getting to that I still really want to read. The first one is Inkblood Sister Scribe by Emma Torres. I'm not quite sure how to say her last name. I have this one from the library, but I also have this one as an audiobook. I have an out of town conference that I will be going to, and it's gonna be like 6 hours or more in the car round trip, and so I will be listening to this. I won't finish it. I'm pretty sure this is longer than 6 hours, but I can get a good chunk done. I don't really know much about this. It is about a family who are keepers of magical books. There are two sisters who are estranged. Their father dies reading a book that one of the sisters has never heard of, and so the sisters have to come together and like figure out why their dad died. It looks like fantasy, dark academia maybe. It's talking about, it references Ninth House, the magicians, practical magic, so witchy, academia, magic. It sounds really good, and I'm really sad I didn't get to it in March. I really overwhelmed myself and just ran out of time. The other book that was on my March TBR that I didn't get to was Oathbound by Tracy Dion, partially because this book is a chonker. This is the third book in the Legendborn cycle. I read Legendborn, and then I read Bloodmarked. Actually, I'm still kind of reading Bloodmarked because March isn't over yet. I'm almost done with it. And so I just didn't get a chance to read this. This is young adult fantasy. Like, our main character is young adult because she's 16, but I don't feel like this reads like a lot of other young adults. In fact, I saw another YouTuber who's reading this, and like, the magic in this is so complex and intricate and sometimes confusing, but I love it. It is about Arthurian magic and Arthurian legends, black girl magic, blood magic, drama, racism, secret societies, demons. It's very good. I don't know anything about Oathbound. I haven't read anything. Like, I haven't even read the synopsis because, or like the inside, I guess that's the synopsis. Because although I have read the second one, Bloodmarked, I haven't read it in 2 years and I can't remember anything about it, so I don't want to spoil this one by reading it before I finish Bloodmarked. And then I, of course, have more books from the library. I have Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix. This is his newest release. It came out in January. This book is set in the 70s. You are following, it's set in like a house for teenage girls who are unwed, who get pregnant. They go away for the summer and have a baby, and then they come back. That's the setting for this. But one day, this girl gets a witchcraft book, and so they're doing witchcraft in this home for wayward girls. I love Grady Hendrix, and I am so excited. I had this book on hold, and it finally just came available for me. I've heard mixed reviews, but I also heard lots of mixed reviews about his last book, which was How to Sell a Haunted House. I enjoyed that one. Not everyone did, so I'm hoping that I like this one as much as I've liked some of his other books in the past. And the last library book I have is Wake Up and Open Your Eyes by Clay McLeod Chapman. I always want to add an extra L in his last name. This is kind of about like propaganda and brainwashing and cults. So very appropriate right now. This is also his newest release. It came out in January as well. You are following a man whose family are far right wingers and are basically like going down the rabbit hole of mind control and cult control, and he's trying to figure out why and how to help them. This, I have also heard very mixed reviews about this. I have heard that this has some gruesome scenes, and some of it might be leaning towards extreme horror, which I do read and have read, so I'm excited. This will be the third book by Clay McLeod Chapman that I have read. Really, really liked Ghost Eaters, was kind of meh, like on the fence about What Kind of Mother. Didn't hate it, didn't love it. Really excited to get this. Really excited to get to this one though. Okay, so those are the books that I already have planned. You know, there'll probably be some more thrown in there because that's me. I never actually stick to this. But I do want to pull from the TBR jar because that's my favorite part of these videos. And I have 6 books planned, and I like to round out to 10. Again, because I will be traveling. I should be able to get some reading done like during that work conference because I'll be alone in the evenings and have time to read without being interrupted. So we are going to pull 4 books from the TBR jar. I did, again, just add, I think I only added 3 new books today. I downloaded a couple from Kindle Unlimited, but there's also a couple I heard about that I want to read. So let's see what we get. Okay, trying to mix them up because it feels like the ones I just added are stuck at the top. Wow. Okay, let's get down in the middle. Whoop, here we go. First one. I say it feels tiny, but they're all the same size, I swear. The Receptionist. I don't know anything about this book. It is a book that's on my Kindle. I'm pretty sure it was another Amazon first read, so let me look it up and get back to you. Okay, looking at this, it is The Receptionist by Kate Miles. It came out in 2021, and yes, this was an Amazon Prime first read. It says, murder, money, and ambition fuel a fiery love triangle in this darkly comic and deeply disturbing thriller of rage, manipulation, and revenge. So it looks like Emily is getting married, and the day before her wedding, she finds out that her fiance has cheated on her multiple times. She goes ahead and goes through with the wedding, and then discovers later that he is having an affair with his receptionist. Yes, with his receptionist. And she decides to do something about it. So it looks like a thriller. Some of it might be kind of horrific. So that sounds fun. Never read anything by Kate Miles, never even heard of her, never heard anyone talk about this book. Again, it was an Amazon first read, 4 years ago now, and it sounded interesting, so that's the reason that I picked it. obviously, which is funny because last month I also had an Amazon Prime first read. So, backtracking, if you don't know what that is, if you subscribe to Amazon Prime, every month they have a list of like 5 or 6 books that are coming out in, I believe, in that month or will soon be released, and you have the option of like buying them and downloading them for free early. And it's just a perk of being an Amazon Prime subscriber. And there were many months that I didn't pick a book because none of them sounded interesting, but apparently this one sounded interesting enough for me to download it, so we'll be reading that book. Okay, good. Good. We're getting a thriller on there. Nice. Okay, 3 more. Let's see. Oh, I have too many. Okay, I had one and then I dropped it on accident. Now there's 2. Okay. One was stuck to me, but it fell. This one is Veronica Speedwell. This is, so, A Curious Beginning by Deanna Raybourn. Deanna Raybourn is the first book in this series, the Veronica Speedwell series. This is a, I believe, young adult. I don't own this book. Deanna Raybourn. Anyway. This is, I believe, a young adult series. You're following Veronica Speedwell. She is a detective? Maybe? There's like 5 or 6 books in this series. Something about a detective. It's old-timey. I think it might be kind of steampunky. Set in England? In London? I don't really know very much about it. I know Katie Colson loves it, and I love a lot of the same books that Katie Colson loves. And I've heard a lot of people talking about this, so I put it on my list of books that I want to read. So, A Curious Beginning by Deanna Raybourn is the second book we picked from our jar. I'm excited. I have been reading a lot of young adult lately, though, so I don't know if that is considered young adult. I think it might be. But, you know, the young adults I'm reading aren't necessarily young adult, because again, Oathbound is considered young adult, but it's pretty intense. So, anyway, I picked our third one while we were talking, and this one is, hey, cool, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I have that right here. This is a very tiny little book. I like it. It's so small. It looks like it's like 216 pages. Okay, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. I have never read this. I have seen the movie. I know it's the beginning of a series. Arthur Dent is having a very bad day. He's plucked off He's plucked off planet Earth and goes through the galaxy, and shenanigans ensue. I know that there are so many like pop culture references to this book and this series, but I've never read it, and it's just such a cute book. And I know Murphy from YouTube. She also loves these books, and so I'm excited. I'm excited. I don't know what else to say. I've wanted to read this for a while. I've had this copy for almost 2 years now on my shelf, so that's exciting. Another book off my physical TBR, and it's one that I've wanted to read. And we don't have, like, I don't think we have any sci-fi books so far this month, so I'm getting a good, like, collection. A good variety. Good variety of genres. I'm sorry, my brain, I don't know. Sometimes it stops working. Okay, here's our last one. Last one. What will it be? It will be Tinfoil Butterfly, which I also don't own. This, I don't own this book. I can't even remember who it's by or anything, so let's look it up. Okay, Tinfoil Butterfly by Rachel Eve Moulton? I don't know. Emma is hitchhiking across the United States, trying to outrun a violent, tragic past when she meets Lowell, the hot but dumb driver she hopes will take her as far as the Badlands, but Lowell is not as harmless as he seems, and a vicious scuffle leaves Emma bloody and stranded in an abandoned town in the Black Hills with an out-of-gas van, a loaded gun, and a snowstorm on the way. Yeah, so pretty sure this one is horror. Thriller horror. I think it actually might lean towards extreme horror. I've heard that parts of it are very disturbing. Again, haven't read it, don't own it, wanted to read it for a long time, just haven't ever gotten around to it. And I've heard some other people really like this. So that's exciting. And you know me, I love getting another horror book on my list, my TBR. Okay. My brain is so dead that I don't know how to wrap this book. My brain is so dead I don't know how to wrap this video up. I guess let's pick up the books that I'm going to be reading. So these are the books that I have. Whoops, let's turn them this way. Oh. Okay, so these are the books that I physically have. Oh my gosh, they're flying everywhere. We have Oathbound, Ink Blood Sister Scribe. What's this one? Wake Up, Open Your Eyes, Witchcraft for Wayward Girls, Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, and Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. We will also be reading, don't fall. We'll also be reading, I know for sure on my Kindle, The Receptionist, because that's on my Kindle. I'm going to try to get, I might try to get the other ones on Kindle too. Anyway, we'll also be reading Tinfoil Butterfly and A Curious Beginning, which is the beginning by Deanna Raybourn, and that is the beginning of the Veronica Speedwell series. Whew! So, oh my gosh. It's not that many books. I mean, I normally read more than 10 books, but I just keep looking at Oathbound and knowing that that book is almost 700 pages, and it's kind of freaking me out a little bit. But it's fine. It's gonna be great. I'm very excited. Again, a big variety of genres this month, so a little bit of everything. I feel like I can easily mood read, because if I'm not ready for a fantasy, I can go to horror, or I can go to sci-fi, I can go to young adult. It's gonna be great. So now I want to know, have you read any of these books? What did you think? All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.